Okay, class, good day. Again, this is our lesson number 7 naman about sa digital self. Okay, so papaiksiin ko lang to kasi masyadong mahaba but repetitive lang naman yung information. Okay, so yung natin discuss yung ano. So ito class, are you seeing this tawag dito, nakasulat? Sabi dito, is there a big difference ba between our self online and then your real self? Kayo ba'y naniniwala na magkaiba yung sarili niyo online at yung sarili mo kung sino ka sa totoong mundo? Okay? So in this lesson, you will learn that yung online self natin class is somehow part of our real identity. So class, in this lesson, you will learn about digital self. So pag sinabi nating digital self, it is the persona you use when you are online. Okay? So it's a mask that you put to engage with the technological world. Sino ka ba? Sino ba or ano ba yung presensyang ipinakita mo sa Facebook, sa Instagram, your Twitter, and even in your TikTok? That is your digital self. Okay? So the term online identity implies that there is a distinction between how people presents themselves online and how they do offline. So yun. Kaya daw may online identity class kasi magkaiba tayo kung sino tayo online and sino tayo offline. Okay? So now class, dito naman, in the digital age that we are living, nabibuild natin yung tinatawag nating digital self. So yan, pinadali ng mga wireless networking and portable devices kagaya ng mga smartphones, tablets, and even social media. Yung definition natin ng tinatawag na digital self. Okay? So yun. In contrast to the internet of the 1990s to early 2000 plus, yung mga people nowadays, they are using social media to communicate, okay, na natin, to communicate with the people they know in real life, context in home, work, and even in school. So, noon kasi class, yung social media parang ginagamit lang natin, yung social media para lang in the sense na makakonect ka sa ibang mga tao. Ngayon class, yung mga media na to, lahat nagagamit na natin sa konteksto ng araw-araw nating pamumuhay sa bahay man, sa school, and even sa trabaho. Mga online meetings class, just like this, yung ginagawa natin na to, video discussion na ipopost sa YouTube, nagagamit na yung internet. Okay? Now, class, your online identity is not the same as your real world identity because the characteristics you present online is different from the characteristic you present in the real world. So every website class or applications you interact with has its own idea of your identity. So lahat daw ng mga website na meron tayo, may idea na yan kung sino ka. Pansin niyo yung mga ads sa Facebook, sa Instagram, ipinakikita nito kung ano yung mga bagay na kailangan natin or somehow nagde-describe sa atin. So, ganun katalino yung mga yung uh, the intelligence and then the analytics na meron ang mga to. So, yun. Sometimes the different representations of you are referred to as the partial identities. So, yun yung sinasabi ko kanina. Because somehow, one of them daw ay nagpapakita nung full true picture of who you really are. Okay? So, yun. So yeah, the online identity, one way of understanding such as the self representation is the information and then yung materials that we choose uh, to show other people. So yung sa pamamagitan ng mga profile picture natin and then yung Twitter streams. Sino ba may Twitter dito or yung ex na siya ngayon? So ako, wala ako niyan. And then, but identity is also expressed through interacting with the other. Halimbawa, kagaya ng messenger, email, and then exchanging thoughts in the comment section of your Facebook and then Instagram feed. So, yun po. So, yung online identity natin, class, sinasabi lang naman ni Marwick, ni Marwick, 2013, lahat daw yan, class. Even yung mga nickname mo, address na ginagamit mo, lahat yan ay nagbibigay ng trace sa'yo sa information mo in the digital world. Okay? Ngayon, Ano-ano yung mga yon? Tinatawag itong digital footprints o yung tinatawag nating digital shadow. This refers to the unique set of traceable digital activities na meron ka. So kayo ba naranasan nyo nang i-search yung sarili nyo sa Google? So you try to search for yourself at tingnan mo yung mga digital footprints na iniwan mo. Okay? Na visible sa'yo. Lahat yan, yung mga websites na binivisit mo, uploaded photos mo, even your likes and shares sa Facebook. When you choose to search yourself sa Facebook, that is uh, uh, what your digital shadow will show, will refer to your digital footprints. Ano-ano ba yung mga traceable history mo online? So, yon. Puntahan naman natin tong self-presentation and then impression management. So, tinatawag nating digital self. Class, naniniwala ang mga eksperto na may tinatawag tayong self-presentation and impression management. Ibig sabihin, class, pinipili lang natin kung ano yung makikita ng tao sa atin online, yung pakikita mo online, 'di ba? That is the what selective presentation, self-presentation is all about and impression management. Pili lang yung sinushow mo online because that's the kind of impression na gusto mong iwanan sa mga tao. Okay? So ako, halimbawa, depressed pala ako, hindi ko yun pinapakita online kasi gusto kong ma-project online as someone na okay lang and nagtatribe ng mabuti sa buhay. That is what selective self-presentation and impression management is all about. Please forgive me, medyo may nag-aandar na jeep. Okay? So yan. The impact of online interactions of the self. So while interacting with other people, we automatically make our inferences about them without being consciously aware kung sino ba talaga sila. So sinasabi lang dito, the impact of online interactions on the self is that nakakabuo tayo ng perception ng mga taong nakaka-interact natin online kahit hindi pa naman talaga natin sila fully nakikilala. Ngayon, class, minsan nagtataka tayo or nagtatanong tayo, ano kaya talaga yung iniisip ng taong to? Ano kaya yung facial expression niya talaga sa totoong mundo? And then, ano ba yung intentions niya? Okay? Kapag nagkita na kami in person. So, yon. So, ngayon, puntahan natin, meron kasi class mahalagang sinasabi si Russell W. Bulk when it comes to the uh, extension of ourselves in the digital world. So, yan. Puntahan natin kung ano yung tinatawag niyang 5 changes emerging from the current digital age. So, Russell Berg, naniniwala siya sa unang-una, yung tinatawag nating dematerialization. Ano ba yon? It's when the things are slowly disappearing right before our eyes. So lahat daw kasi class ng mga information, the communication, photos, and even the videos, music, calculations, messages, written or not, ay lahat largely visible na in a material form. Ibig sabihin, nakikita natin sila online na lang in the mga not in hindi na natin nahahawakan physically. So yun, dematerialization. It's when the information, even the photos are disappearing right before our eyes. Information na nakikita mo, 'di ba, hindi na nasa papel ngayon, nasa computer na. Okay? Pag nagpunta ka ng PSA, dati naghahanap pa sila sa stock of files. Ngayon, class, type na lang sa computer, nandun na yung information nyo. Dematerialization. Traditional photographers class, na nagpunta kayong Luneta, di ba may mga traditional photographers doon? Yun talaga yung photos class. Ibig sabihin, nahahawakan natin to. Materialize pa. Eh may mga hindi nagpapa-picture doon. Ibig sabihin, dematerialize yung photos nila because nakastored lang yun sa kanilang mga cellphone, iminayday lang sa Facebook. That is what dematerialization is all about. Okay. So sige pa, puntahan natin to. In the concept of dematerialization, nakaka-gain daw ba tayo ng ng status doon or enhanced sense of self based doon sa mga virtual possessions na yon? So yun. Unang-una class, eto, may 4 functions daw yung tinatawag nating virtual consumption. Unang-una, simulation. So, it's the desire for both material and virtual goods na sa simulate yung utak natin. Now, pangalawa, it actualizes the possible daydreams such as those wealth by status or by enacting them in video games. Ibig sabihin, yung mga gusto natin nagiging posible sa pamamagitan ng mga online or virtual consumption na meron tayo. Sa Roblox, 'di ba? Minecraft, makakapag-build ka ng mga gusto mo. Okay? Sa mga video games, napo-portray mo yung character na pangarap mo sana maging. So, yun po. Number three, it's almost related sa number two. It actualizes fantasy such as being magician or space pirate with magical objects. Then pang-apat, it facilitates experimentation. Okay, so yun. Maaari kang maging criminal sa isang video games and then yung reports daw, they show that the virtual goods are now some of the most valued commodities for cyber criminals who attempt to hack into games and then steal possessions to resell. So dito class, suicide may also result to a stolen virtual or digital possessions. Nagagamit na yung konsepto ng virtual consumption for in terms of facilitating experimentation. Nagagamit na yan din to actually sell goods and then to steal the goods from us. So yun po. Re-embodiment, ito yung pangalawa. Ito naman, it is characterized the breakout of the visual. So, lahat tayo class, disembodied na and embodied as avatars, sharing the identity with the chosen or the chosen avatar virtually. So, yun class, sa online world, 'di ba? Meron tayong mga avatars. Sa Facebook nga lang eh, makikita ko mabibigay ko eh. Meron ng mga avatars na nagde-describe kung paano tayo manamit, yung personality natin. So, yun. Yun yung tinatawag na re-embodiment class. Okay? May new construction na at definition tayo na makikita sa virtual world. Okay? So, yan. Yung mga matatanda, pwedeng maging mas bata. So, the modest way of wearing elaborate jewelry in virtual space, the crippled walk without crutches. So, we employ anonymous and pseudonymous identities online. Ibig sabihin, may mga uh, tawag dito, binubuo tayong identity in online world. RPG or the, tawag dito, RPW account, di ba? Yung RPA, mga role-playing account. Doon, pwede kang maging kahit sino. Okay? That is what re-embodiment is all about. And then, sharing class, pangatlo, ayon kay Bell, okay, na extension ng sarili natin sa digital world. So, ito class, yung uploading, downloading, sharing, lahat yun class nagpo-provide ng free access sa mga information na nakikita natin online. So, how does this sharing of possessions online enhance our individual and aggregate sense of self? Paano nga ba na sa pamamagitan ng mga sharings na to, tawag dito, na-enhance pa yung sense of worth natin sa mga sarili natin. So, yun class. When we try to access information na palagay natin makaka-empower sa atin and then we upload our photos sa palagay natin ay doon tayo magiging mas maganda tingnan, appealing, and then yun nga po. Lahat ng mga to ay available sa tinatawag nating web surfing. And to share you, most of the information na nakikita natin online are part of the what we call surface web. Ibig sabihin class, if there is an iceberg, paano pa to ano ba? If there is an iceberg class, okay? Yung surface web ay nandito. So lahat ng information na nakikita natin nandito 'yan sa tip of that iceberg. So that is what the surface web is all about. Dito class sa ilalim nito, sa ilalim ng iceberg, nandyan yung mga information na hindi natin dapat makita. So yun po. Maraming mga tao ang nagwo-work dito sa deep web na tinatawag natin at para hindi tayo makakita ng mga disturbing photos din. Okay? Lahat lang nung parang acceptable in our naked eye. So marami dyan nababaliw sa trabaho na yan because they filter the information that we are seeing online. So yun po. Co-construction of the self. Ito na yung pang-apat class. Sa ating digital involvement, our digital involvement is social in nature. So our blogs invite comments, social interactions, which help in constructing our individual and join the extended self of the self as the new version of Cooley's Looking Glass Self theory. So known as the collaborative self. Yun daw yung tawag doon. So anong effect nito? Sabi that seeking affirmation is obviously identified. Ibig sabihin, friends also help to construct and reaffirm each other's sense of self through their postings, taggings, and then comments. Ibig sabihin, class, yung co-construction of the self, meron na tayong pangalawang parang tawag dito, definition nung kung sino tayo sa pamamagitan ng mga affirmations na nakikita natin online. Kaya meron na tayong bagong konsepto ng looking glass self. Na yan ay class nakikita na sa ating digital involvement, kung sino tayo in the digital world. So lahat ng yan, 'di ba, maaaring nakakatulong para ma-release natin yung sarili na hindi natin na-express in real life or in person. Okay? Now, this is the last, I believe, panglima, distributed memory. In digital world, there is a new set of devices and technologies for recording and then archiving memories. Naalala nyo, sino ba dito may mga dump accounts sa Instagram that is supposedly for archiving the memories or records of their lives, the pictures or photos that slipped away through the time. Gusto nilang makita doon. That's why may dump account sila sa Instagram. Ako, marami akong kaklaseng ganyan nung college. And then, the dilemma is seen in the narrative of the self. Our identity is not to be found in behavior nor in the reactions of others, but in the capacity to keep the particular narrative to keep on going. So it is done by continually integrating the events outside our world into our ongoing story about ourselves. So, sige, paliwanag natin ng maliwanag tong medyo simple tong tinatawag nating distributed memory. So class, the memories na meron tayo online pala daw, kung ganun, kay Bell, because yung trace nga nito class is nasa online na, nagdudulot to ng distributed memory. So someday, kapag wala na tayo, may mga traces na meron doon online. Distributed yung memories, ibig sabihin, nasa iba't ibang parang storage to online, okay? So, lahat yun, evidences kung paano tayo nabuhay, kung paano tayo nag-exist. That is what this distributed memory is all about. So, we keep the particular narrative of our lives going through posting it on archiving it in the digital space na meron tayo. So, yun. However, may tawag dito, negative effect itong distributed memory because the photos posted online in the online world may not be accurate in giving the memories, okay, in the past. Kasi class nakapost lang daw doon yung mga happy times and they may not be sufficient enough to tell our real stories. Ano pa, yung dinudulot ng distributed memories. Class naniniwala or may nabasa ako na someday daw maaaring yung mga tao, 'di ba? Due to the presence of AI ngayon, madami din mga nagpo-profile na parang mga super AI na talaga yung itsura. Maaaring hindi enough 'yon para ma-describe kung sino talaga or ano talaga yung actual na pamumuhay at itsura natin. Because maaari na yung mga photos na yun ay produkto lamang ng artificial intelligences. So that is what this distributed memory is all about. Hindi palaging accurate yung mga photos and information na makita natin online again because that is curated. Do you remember the tip of an iceberg na pinaliwanag ko sa inyo? Ganun din class, yung description ng kung sino tayo online at yung actual na tayo talaga sa totoong mundo. Okay? So yun lang po yung pinatutungkulan ng discussion na to about sa online self. This boundaries of the online, private versus public, and then personal versus social identity online, and then gender sexuality online. This is all about setting boundaries na lang tungkol sa atin. So yun, kayo na po ang bahala magbasa-basa diyan. Okay? So yun yung mga important part of discussion lang naman, yung mga unang part na aking diniscuss sa inyo. So that is what the digital self is all about and thank you all for listening.